everybody, it's me, Alex here, and you're not going to believe who's in China. It's Alina McLeod. Welcome.
Hey guys, nice to be here finally.
You have to go to her channel because the first video you just did has blown up and it's doing really well.
It's really unexpected. I've never had a video in 24 hours hit 100,000 views. So I'm going to take that as a good omen of like, I'm supposed to be here, good things to come, and yeah, very exciting.
Tell me, first impressions of China, the first thing.
Well, I guess it would just be different.
If I said to you now that you've been here a few days, I'm going to use the word Chongqing, what comes to mind?
Is electric.
Chongqing is electric.
It has this sort of like pulse energy, lights to it.
Okay.
It feels like a very futuristic city, and it feels like an all-night sort of city, like in the district that I'm staying in, you know, skyscrapers, lights, action. So a lot going on, like very electrified.
Okay, I like that. Chongqing. So what was the key line? Chongqing electric?
Is electric.
Chongqing is electric.
Yeah.
It's a big city.
Yeah.
It's probably, when was the first time you ever heard of it?
Well, I think when you moved here. Yeah. Before you started talking about potentially moving here, I had never heard of it, and I had never really seen any pictures or videos of it. But I would say in the last year, I have seen so much more social media content of people visiting Chongqing and learning about all the different attractions. So the momentum that this city has had in the last few years is really noticeable.
As an international person who has traveled, how many countries have you been to?
Well, almost 50, something like that.
Almost 50 countries, probably well over 100 cities.
Oh,
okay.
Way more.
How do these cities, or this city, how does it compare?
Well, it's a monolith. You know, there's not many cities that are this big.
Okay.
Most cities in the world are not this advanced, you know, as far as technology goes. So as my first arrival was, it's a learning curve.
Okay. You're a content creator. You're a person that likes to take the camera out, whether it's in a subway, whether it's in a department store, whether it's in a restaurant, whatever. Which, as a content creator, shooting your content here in China, has there been any issues or?
Well, the funny thing about traveling China is because the locals here love to film things and take pictures. So this is probably the place where I feel almost most comfortable to like set up a tripod to be doing a whole thing. It's like, that's normal here. It's normal to be like taking selfies and like doing all that because that's a cultural thing here. In Canada, it's almost more weird because people aren't really walking around vlogging themselves, right?
You know, this is a big city, Alina. This is a city of 32 million people. I mean, comparable to New York, comparable to Paris. It can be quite intimidating to come to a massive city like this. As a content creator, as a woman and stuff, is safety an issue for you, or do you worry about it?
It hasn't been at all, and you know, I've had friends like Kaya, for example, so a YouTuber. I really relied on her experience when I decided to come here, because I asked her, you know, what was it like for you, and any tips, and overall she said she felt very comfortable here, and just as long as you have your basics of, you know, having Alipay, having all your things, then you're fine. You don't really have to worry about, oh, somebody's going to jump me in the middle of the night, or, you know, that kind of stuff. Of course, crazy things could happen, but it's not likely.
Now, the nice thing is you were out yesterday. You spent the yesterday with a colleague of mine.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yuan, if you're editing and helping with this, hello. You had a great day with her.
Yeah.
Tell me how it was to be with a local for the day.
Well, so helpful, because as a first day of exploring, you don't quite know which districts you should go to, how to get from place to place. So it was awesome to have somebody really show me the ropes, answer any questions I had. And of course, she introduced me to a lot of new things that I hadn't had before, like different foods that they have here. Shout out to Yogurt Cow.
You like yogurt?
Yeah, I really liked Yogurt Cow. It was really good.
She did the yogurt?
Yeah, at first I didn't.
She's never taken me to Yogurt Cow.
You should know. It was really good. And then we went to a restaurant called Ji Chua, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, I think that's right, yeah.
Ordered a really good lunch there. And then for dinner we had the Chongqing famous hot pot, which was an experience because this thing is huge, it's boiling, you can choose so many different ingredients. I, to be honest, have kind of avoided hot pot even when I've been in Asia because I don't know how it works.
Right.
You know, so to have a local kind of show you the process and make suggestions, it was really cool.
Did she explain it to you? How it worked?
Yeah,
All
it was
right.
great. It was great. Yeah, she's such a lovely person.
What was the favorite meat that you had? Or was there one?
Oh, it was the shrimp ball. I really like the shrimp balls, yeah.
And those, do you put those in the really hot side? Or was there a hot or a less hotter side?
So we got the one that has the bland one, the not spicy one in the middle, and then the red chili pepper on the outside. But she gave me a good tip where you take sesame oil and I think balsamic vinegar, and then when you take meat from the really spicy area, you put it in that sesame oil, and I guess it makes it less spicy.
Coats it so it goes down easy, but it explodes when it gets...
I don't know. But it was good, and for somebody with not a high spice tolerance, like I could handle it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I mean, it sounds like you had an adventurous day.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Then we came up to today. Today, tell us about how your day was today.
Oh, it was great because, I mean, first of all, lovely to see you and Julia again and stuff. But yeah, we did a lot of different districts, starting with the, it's the tallest building so
the
far,
World
right?
Financial Center.
Yeah, so it was cool to see Chongqing from a bird's eye view and to actually be outside. We walked around the downtown central area, went into some shops, and then what was the smaller street area that
we went to 18
into?
steps today.
Yeah.
And we discovered that, showing that the city is really striving to hold its history now. We've all learned from lessons of the past on city organizations and, to keep this special part of the past and make it that it can be used either commercially or that it's be a viable way of upkeeping. I know that in other countries they have some ideas, they try it, they might fail, and then it goes into despair, right? But they're very careful here. The city planners are very careful on every section on what they're doing.
Yeah.
And of course, this is the most traveled city in China now.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of visitors.
I've had a channel for, I think, about 8
years.
But I've been full-time and also traveling full-time almost 5. Yeah.
Can you give some advice to maybe somebody starting a channel? And what direction they go? I know it can be really exhausting, but share that with me if you don't mind.
Number one is you have to have a love and passion for whatever topic and niche you choose.
Okay.
Because number one, for most people, YouTube is going to be the long game. Very few people are going to see exceptional results or make a lot of money right away. So you have to be interested and passionate enough about what you're talking about to build that momentum of building your library of content. And I think an audience can see if you are truly passionate and excited about something, and that kind of, draws them to you.
Right.
So number one is that passion and being in it for the long haul. And second of all is treating it like a business and being consistent. Because some people might have a flash of inspiration, they put in hours for maybe a month or two, and then they completely burn out and don't stick to their uploading schedule.
Okay.
And for me, for I think at least 7 years straight, I have uploaded every single week at least one video, and maybe I missed one or 2 weeks at most in years. So like 7 years, I've uploaded every single week.
You put 5 years of your life into this already. There's many schools around the world teaching media. Do you feel, and we've discussed this today, do you feel that there is a disconnect from old traditional way of making media to what you're doing? And how did you get into this? How did you did you go to schools to learn all this?
No, I'm fully self-taught, and that's why it took 8 years to make it happen, because I was starting from scratch. I made a lot of mistakes. My quality wasn't good. And to just even learn marketing, right? That's a skill in and of itself. And as somebody who runs their own channel and doesn't have the funds to hire people, you have to do all of that. You have to learn all of that. So that's why for my channel, it did take a while to get going. But I think in the age that we're in right now, this is the type of media that people tend to trust more, I would say. You know, because it doesn't have, you know, a big corporation behind it. There isn't, for most YouTubers, a lot of, you know, money behind them. It all is like grassroots people vlogging with camera. And as a channel creator, I mean, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can say your own opinion. You know, there isn't you know, anything really backing you for most people. So I think that kind of builds that connection with an audience of, this is somebody that you've watched on screen for an extended period of time. You trust them, you've seen their evolution, and it's very different from mainstream media. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's a different kind of audience content relationship. It's very different.
I feel that your audience, when you read in the comments of your videos, they're very connected to you. It's almost like they're your friends.
Oh yeah, and especially because I live stream, you know, a couple times a week, and that's all in real time. So I have a lot of the same people that come to my live streams. You know, we even have like friendships with a lot of them, and we chat back and forth. Some of my subscribers I've met in person, and yeah, like, I mean, I do consider them friends. So it's a different kind of media relationship, basically.
You know, that comment that you made, saying that people trust this content, that's very important today. Yeah,
and you don't want to break that trust, right? You know, that's why I think as content creators, sure, you know, you can, you know, go about it whatever way you feel is right. But I think that for even the small content creators, we do have a responsibility to be ethical, you know, with our content, and, you know, just be as responsible with it as we can. You know,
it's very interesting. You mentioned marketing as part. You mentioned creating your own content, editing. You probably do everything, right?
Yeah.
You edit, you film, you color grade,
Well, it's the planning, honestly, to like, with travel content, planning, booking, researching, figuring out how things work in a new place, that takes just as long as the actual filming and editing of content. So
in a day in the life of Alina, you'd wake up, you'd schedule, you'd film, then you'd have to schedule the editing time, and do the marketing, and talk to the hundreds of thousands of fans that you have. You've experienced the YouTuber program, we'll call it here, in Chongqing, and what do you think, if you spent a couple of days with us, do you think that is there certain elements you think we can improve with the program? Be skeptical if you want, we can handle it.
Honestly, after the day that I had yesterday, like, I have no changes. Like, UN was amazing. Like, I literally had such a great day, and when my video comes out, like, you guys will see that we did so much in a day. And it was also really nice that, you know, she's younger than me, but she's just so personable, and she was so flexible with what I, you know, had ideas of doing, because not that I've worked with a lot of tourism boards, but I think it wouldn't be as good if you had a very regimented schedule of, like, you need to be here at this time, and it's just like, you know, filming an attraction and that's it. She really made it a personable experience, and you know, we could be flexible with what we did. So absolutely, honestly, like, yeah, no changes. Great. I had a great time.
Well, that's fantastic. Alina, we know you're heading on to Chengdu next as well. Everyone, you have to check in the description for Alina McLeod. Her YouTube channel is doing awesome, as well as her Instagram. My name is Alex. You can check my channel at Reporterfy Media, as well as iChongqing. We look forward to having you back here.
Yeah, I'll definitely be back.
Enjoy your next few weeks here in China, and we will talk soon, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.